We did our presentation on Costco. I'm Dalton, that's Colby, that's Eric. The background on Costco was founded by Jim Senegal and Jeff Brotman in Seattle in 1983. The man who originated the idea of this whole merchandising warehouse movement was Sol Price. This is the guy that Jim Senegal got all of his ideas and knowledge from in the merchandise warehousing industry. Eventually, after Jim Senegal had worked for Sol Price for a while, he started his own company called Costco. And by 1984, they were serving 200,000 members, and in its first 6 years, it had more than $1 billion in sales, which was the first time occurrence for any U.S. company. And recently, Jim Senegal stepped down, and new CEO Craig Jelinek has taken over. For the discussion of strategy, we said they had a broad, low-cost strategy. They started by serving small businesses, so they were very focused at first, but now they're branched out and are serving individuals as well. So they're broad in that sense. And Costco is constantly trying to keep their price as low as possible. They're constantly competing. For the force by forces model, we have the threat of rivals is strong. Costco is going against huge other companies like Sam's Club and BJ's Wholesale, and also other retailers like Walmart and Dollar General competing for the same little piece of market share. And then for the threat of substitutes, also strong. It's very easy to just go to another store and get a product similar to the one that Costco is providing. So it's strong as well. And then the threat of new entrants is weak. There's huge companies already established in this market and huge startup costs to jump into this market. It costs millions of dollars just to start a warehouse. So it'd be extremely tough for a new company to come in. Also, when you factor in the membership fees or the membership base that these companies already have, it's difficult. And now, here's Colby.
The supplier power for Costco is weak due to several factors, which is due to the number of suppliers and the switching costs. The large number of suppliers to Costco allows them to negotiate with suppliers. Costco gets good prices from the suppliers because the suppliers need Costco's business, and Costco would be a huge customer for the supplier, and therefore that's why it reduces their power. And then there's also the fact the switching cost between the different suppliers is low because there's so many different ones. Costco has the option to choose whoever they want, and which provides the best price. Now we'll go to the buyer power, which is also weak because it's due to the large membership bases that Costco has, and the members cannot negotiate the prices of their products. Costco has about 72 million members and has earned about $2.29 billion in just membership fees alone. And with that being said, an individual member won't have too much room to negotiate over the whole population of members they have. This slide is going to be about the driving forces. First one we have is there's a maturing market, and that means the level of growth is reaching its maximum potential and will eventually stop growing very soon. This will lead to an increase in attempt to differentiate companies from each other. Costco will be able to, or should come up with ways to add more value and better customer experiences than the other wholesalers. This is vital in this type of market in order to maintain the profit levels and the same amount of profit share. It's also the fact that the economy is slowly recovering from the recession, and now consumers are starting to spend their money again, and with this money they're able to buy memberships to these retail wholesale suppliers, causing there to be a return in their sales numbers. Third is going to be the growing concern for the environment. A lot of companies are looking for ways to give back to the environment and save it, and so this is a factor they have to be aware of for the future. Fourth, consumers are increasingly more comfortable with shopping online, so you have to have a strong website, and that's easy for the customer to use and check out in order to compete with other companies. And then fifth would be the oversaturated market for wholesale retailers. Oversaturation reduces the threat of new entrants into the industry, but also increases the competition between the existing companies. This leads to battles between the membership numbers and the prices between the two major competitors Costco has at hand. And that leads us to our key success factors. For a wholesale industry, you have to have an efficient value chain in order to reduce your prices, and it's vital for success and survival, and to generate positive word of mouth for your company, so people will continue to use it and know about how good your company is. And then you must also have a strong internet presence, because e-commerce sales are ever more increasing. That means your company should have a user-friendly website for shoppers. And then next, you need to have good brand awareness and loyalty. Loyal customers and members are what keeps these type of industry or type of companies running. And you got to have ways to keep your members renewing and constantly using your store over the others.
So this is the SWOT analysis. Alright, so the brand has high popularity and strong repeat customer loyalty through memberships. This pretty much is that the brand is always going to be evolving, and it's going to always have the repeat customers that they have in their database already. Happy employee morale. Costco has some of the happiest employees. They have diverse offerings as far as what they're able to sell. They have some high-end products for lower prices that they're able to buy from, they are the wholesaler. Low-cost marketing and promotion strategy. Most of their money doesn't go to the actual promotions, which is considered both a strength and a weakness because they are getting to all their markets. So as we go into the weaknesses here, there's a low amount of advertising, which does not maximize their customers. But it's a strength because they're not spending as much money as other retailers. They're not accurately meeting their demand. They're not getting the word of their products out to all of the people that are in their market, so to say. So we can definitely branch that out. That's an opportunity for them. The stagnant growth and development due to competition, since there is so much in Walmart and your Sam's of that nature, really divest into the market as much as we would like to with here, Costco. Hard to implement bottom level changes in large infrastructures. Pretty much their management is decentralized to the fact that they're given too much say-so to the bottom level employees and bottom level managers, so they aren't able to be as effective as the centralized. Opportunities for them, they can expand into globally developing markets like India, China, Japan, develop their weakness, the not accurately meeting demand, so to say. They can further expansion of their portfolio through acquisitions. That's just buying smaller chains. Adding an online membership option. More visibility through advertising and customer-focused services. That's some of the threats. Amazon becoming more of a power in the wholesale market. Operations in a limited number of industries, and an increase in labor wages and demand for the product. And there's a threat from those private labels as well. And then the increase in labor wages and demand, are they going to be able to keep that broad low-cost strategy? Operations in a limited number of industries. Pretty much.
Financial analysis. Costco's financial analysis has led to the several ratios listed here, and their net revenues have increased almost every year. Costco continuously produces large amounts of net revenue with a large portion left not invested. We found that in our analysis, the above ratios, and they have a decent return on their assets. Their ROA isn't as high as compared to their competitor Sam's Club, and we believe Costco needs to find ways to increase the ratios on that one especially. Everything else is pretty competitive with Sam's Club, with what we've compared them to, and Costco seems to have a pretty good financial outlook.
The first item on the manager word list: how can we appeal to lower level income households? Right now, Costco's average income household per person is $70,000. I think the average in the U.S. is like closer to $40,000. So they're missing out on a huge piece of the market share by not, appealing to the lower level income people. And then secondly, will the new CEO, Craig Jelinek, continue Costco's success? Costco's been hugely successful so far under Jim Sinegal. So can Craig Jelinek continue to keep that momentum going?
Once again, how do we maximize the customer awareness through the current geographic locations? Pretty much going back to that SWOT analysis, we know that we're not getting to all of our market share. How do we exploit those international markets, like in the developing countries? We definitely have some opportunity for expansion there. And how do we overcome stagnant growth in the market? And that's just going to be going over your Walmarts and your Sam's. How do we get that competitive advantage?
Our first recommendation is for Costco to acquire BJ's Wholesale. Costco should acquire BJ's Wholesale Club because it's a growing company in their market, and the acquisition would give Costco more market share and more locations along the East Coast instantly. We estimate this acquisition to cost Costco $2 billion and yield a net income of $150 million per year, so the payback period would be very reasonable.
My recommendation is to open more store locations to compete with Sam's Club. And Sam's Club currently has more locations than Costco does. The exact numbers are Sam's Club 599 and Costco's at 471. We believe that if Costco opens more storefronts, they will be able to take away some of the market share from Sam's Club. Sam's Club is their biggest competitor, and it would be a huge advantage to be able to have competing store numbers. The cost of a building is just above $4 million, which suggests Costco open 10 or more stores in locations in growing cities such as Murfreesboro and Franklin in Tennessee. These two cities also contain Sam's Clubs and would steal some of Sam's Club's members. The total cost of opening stores would be about $41 million, and the average revenues from a Costco store is $9 to $14 billion. These new stores won't produce those numbers in 1 year, but would slowly build up, and we predict the payback period for those stores to be as soon as 3 to 4.
My recommendation for Costco is that we should release a viral online membership campaign. That viral membership campaign should be via commercials like Kmart Ship My Pants campaign.
Ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
For foreign markets, the ad should detail be-low pricing as a play on Walmart's everyday low prices for consumer to understand that Costco is the lower priced entity. The company should hire someone with similar social listening prowess as Bill Kiss, who actually developed this campaign for Kmart. And that is my recommendation.